on the DVD release.
All right, let's go live to Sky Eye right now. This is over Southwest Houston. This is a chase in progress. We're bringing you this as breaking news happening right now. You can see that black sedan right there, and it is not stopping. We are not sure how long this chase has been going on, but we're venturing to find that out right now. But you can see Houston police right behind. Again, Southwest Houston, and that's all we know about. I don't know what
Prompted the chase.
Yeah, and what highways are we talking about here, James? I'm not sure, but it looks like he's slowing down, but he may just be, making a U-turn right there.
Westbound side, he's
and Andy Bass is in Sky HD. We'll send it to you now, Andy. What do you see?
Well, right now he just did a U-turn, complete U-turn. We're now on the eastbound side of the South Belt feeder road. We were on the westbound side. Now he just did a U-turn underneath that, underneath the belt. Now we're back on eastbound of the feeder road of the South Belt. We picked him up at 288 in the belt when we joined the chase a couple of minutes right before we hit the air. A couple of HPD officers behind him. We're not too sure what this person did, why they're chasing him, or why he's running from the HPD police right now. But that's where we're at. We're in Southwest Houston on the eastbound side of the feeder road of the South Belt.
You know, before we actually went to you, it doesn't look like he's like going extremely high rate speed here. He's just kind of cruising along, maybe just a little above the speed limit. But have you seen any really high rate of speed here through this chase?
Nothing too out of control right now, Art. Like I said, when we joined the chase, it was, pretty status quo of what you see right now. He's not doing high rates of speed, not going in and out of traffic, not doing a whole lot of, shimmy-shamming around town like we have seen in the past of him. He's starting to pick up a little bit of speed right now, but they've got a couple of intersections ahead of us that I can see. So hopefully there might be get some spikes up there and try to get this guy to stop. It is in a late Chevrolet sedan type thing, and now he's now going southbound on this little road here.
He's into some, when he gets into these residential areas, that's when it becomes really, really scary here, because especially if there are any children out there, they start racing around on these residential roads. Fortunately, it doesn't appear as though he's going at a really high rate of speed still. This is a speed chase. He's broken the law in some degree. We are not sure how it initiated and what prompted the entire chase, but he is clearly not stopping for police.
And we know the chase has been going on for about 15 minutes, that it started at South Braeswood. And again, as Art said, we don't know what prompted the chase, but he appears to be in a residential type area now. It appears to be sort of a slow speed chase there, Andy.
Yeah, exactly right, Samika. He is definitely through this residential area. It did slow down quite a bit. There are now a couple of more HPD officers in the back of him. He's going through this residential area, and hopefully he's being a little bit more cautious because, as Art said, there could be children playing, possibly running out of the street, young children that aren't in school right now. But it looks like he's going to start coming back on the northbound side of this road that we're over. I still haven't quite figured out exactly where we're at. I can tell you that we're south of the belt. And a little bit west of, it appears, 288. So we're still in the same area that we picked him up at, but you can see more officers are starting to join the chase behind him.
All right, so south of the belt, he's not too far from where he originally began, but in some cases it looks like he's on a Sunday leisure stroll here. Not really high rate of speed. I almost thought he was going to make another U-turn and go in circles. I mean, this guy's doing a lot of U-turns, Andy, and so he almost looks like a driver who's lost and not sure where to go.
Exactly. You can see all the tow trucks just waiting for him as well, and on the secondary roadways. But yeah, it looks like he's just looking for his house or looking for a lost dog. It doesn't look like he doesn't realize that he's being chased by HPD right now, which is never a good sign.
Yeah, and those tow trucks, that's a good indication. Anytime you potentially will have a wreck, those tow trucks will be there. So.
And picking up a little speed now. We see people there along the sidewalks, and we did see a school bus there, and picking up a little bit of speed, but again, slowing down again. And here comes a lot of traffic here at this stop sign, this intersection. He's going right into the intersection there. Again, not sure what prompted this chase. We do know it started at South Braeswood. It's been going on for a little over 15 minutes now, and you can see HPD on his trail there.
All right, so Andy, to get a more specific location here, we are south of the Beltway. Well, now it looks as though he's going inside the Beltway. Is that right? And what's the intersection?
He just went back underneath the belt. Now he's back on the westbound side of the feeder road of the belt.
Okay.
I believe this was I'm not too sure which road this is, but I can tell you that HPD's helicopter just joined the chase now, so now we got a couple of eyes up here with us.
Okay.
So he's not going to go too far, but he's definitely back on the westbound side, approaching Post Oak on the south feeder road of the South Belt.
Okay. All right, so he's on the South Belt, headed westbound now. If he continues to travel along this route, eventually he's going to be circling and heading north, but right now on a frontage, and there's a lot of construction here on the South Belt, so he's not able to really enter the freeway, but at some point he might find an entry ramp here, and we'll see if he gets on.
And go ahead, and Andy, it appears that he is picking up a little bit more speed now.
Well, as he's on the feeder road, yeah, he's got a pretty much a wide open lane right there. As Art just mentioned, there's a lot of construction on the South Belt along the feeder road and the main lanes of the South Belt. We got to do some construction coming up here as well. There's, he could go on the, take the feeder road all the way and get possibly on the South Belt to make it to the West Belt. He could take 59 prior to that. There's a lot of directions that he could possibly go. Let's see what he's going to do at this intersection. This should be the Post Oak intersection that we saw. Let's see if he's going to do another U-turn or make a left on the Post Oak, and that's where he looks like he's probably doing his southbound Post Oak.
All right, so now he's headed
right now
south on Post Oak, just south of the Beltway. All right, well, let's see what he does here. He's under there. Now he's getting back. He's going around in circles. Headed back now. He's headed eastbound on the feeder road of the South Belt. Is that correct, Andy?
That's correct. He's back to headed eastbound from Post Oak.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's just doing a large circle right now.
Yeah, and he's really stayed in this entire South Belt area, and he veered off into residential streets, for a few blocks, but then just came right back around and is doing some more loops. So,
and we're working to see what actually prompted this chase. Again, we don't know that yet, but we do know it started at South Braeswood, and it started about, I guess, maybe a little more, almost 20 minutes ago, and it's been going sort of at a slow speed. As we mentioned, he's been circling around here and even entered a residential area at a very slow speed, but we do see HPD on his trail here, and it has been going this way for about almost 20 minutes now.
Sometimes... Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, really, I mean, he's using his turn signal. He's being very cautious about this chase, and so that's always a decent sign that he might, just pull over eventually and end this without any harm to anyone else. We've seen it end peacefully. We've seen it not end peacefully from up here in Sky High. I'm hoping this ends peacefully momentarily, but it doesn't look like he's going very fast. Not a lot of traffic on the eastbound side of the feeder road of the South Belt.
I mean, the feeders...
and he keeps putting his...
Yeah. As you say, he's putting his turn signals on, and now he's heading... now he's headed northbound under the Beltway again, and we'll see if he makes another left. There he goes. He's going to get dizzy if he continues to do this for a while. But now he's headed westbound again on that westbound feeder of the South Beltway, and he is doing circles. And he doesn't, as you say, Andy, he doesn't seem all that determined. And I keep saying he. I don't know who this is. It could be he, she, whatever. But does not seem, as we've seen in the past with other car chases, those drivers who are extremely determined to get away and to make every attempt in doing so. He's probably driving posted speeds. I mean, we don't know that, but it's, posted speeds would be 55 right along the feeder.
Yeah, he could be driving posted speeds. I mean, it's not, you see him passing that guy, but that guy was definitely slowing down a little bit, so it's very hard to get a pinpoint of exactly how fast he's going, and numerous HPD officers still, right behind him as well. The HPD helicopter's up with us, so, he's not going to go very far. He keeps going circles like that. Eventually, he's going to run out of gas.
Yeah.
And Andy, do we know exactly where he is right now?
He's still on the westbound side of the South Belt feeder road, approaching Post Oak again. So he's just in this little area between Post Oak, and I believe that that back one is maybe Orem or something along those lines. Maybe Kirby back there.
Now here's Post Oak again. Well, now he's going to go north on Post Oak, right?
Okay, something new.
Yeah, breaking away here from the norm.
Still going at a relatively slow speed here. Is he entering a relatively residential area now, or?
I'm going to pull back a little bit. It's not residential. Got a couple of buildings and, you know, some industrial buildings that looks like along Post Oak on the northbound side. He's going to get into some a little bit heavier traffic as I look out of the Sky Eye window. I could definitely tell you he's going to get a little bit more traffic. More traffic lights here on obviously on Post Oak than on the feeder road or the belt itself. So there's, I'm sure there's some intersections that are going to get very busy as he continues.
This far south on Post Oak, it's largely industrial, and then he'll get into some commercial areas, but now he's turning around again. So he's headed southbound on Post Oak, and really not a lot of traffic in these areas, just moving along at just about posted speeds, but going through lights. I haven't seen police prepared to put any stripes down or you know, tax down, or
we have not seen that either, Art. No one's attempted to put down some tax or strips yet, you know, to get him to stop. So, you know, maybe they just want him to get on a long straightaway and maybe get some spikes down in front of him, but he keeps turning, so I don't know if they have time to set up.
Right. Well, Andy, and we've been following this for about, what, a little over 20 minutes now, and it started at South Braeswood, is our understanding there. We're seeing is he going the wrong way on the street here? Maybe turning into this.
He's going to go check in and get some gas.
Turning into the gas station, and well, hopefully this is ending here, but he's turning into the gas station and now turning out of the gas station.
Yeah, there he goes, yeah.
Going back into the main road, and there's that traffic.
And there's the traffic, and now back onto the feeder road at the South Belt.
You know,
now
this
is going to make that U.
This is the most confusing high-speed or slow-speed chase I think I've ever seen. This guy doesn't appear to know where he's going.
He's hopping the curb here.
See, now this is...
And now headed...
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Now he's definitely driving the wrong way. He's now in the southbound lanes, heading northbound. Now he's back in the northbound lanes.
Right.
So now he's... Okay, that was a little erratic for him.
Yeah, that was, because he's been generally pretty calm here, but you know, that was pretty unusual.
And again, we don't know.
To go over the median.
we don't know what prompted this chase. We're trying to actually figure all of this out and trying to figure out why he's running in the first place. It's been going on for a little more than 20 minutes. At times, a slow speed chase, and as you saw there just a few minutes ago, that's the first sign of anything really erratic as far as this person is concerned. The suspect here, not sure where he's going here.
Back,
okay,
southbound, back to Post Oak.
Yeah, his moves are so predictable now. You would think by now they can put out some spikes somewhere along this area, because he seems to be either, well, right now circling Post Oak up and down, and you see the officers sort of stationed around this area.
You could actually see the business owners coming out and taking a look at it, because obviously they see the commotion here, the commotion on Post Oak, so a lot of the business owners and a lot of patrons are coming out to take a look on it too. Then that can also get dangerous if people are out on the sidewalks and this guy's not paying attention and just trying to get away from the cops. That can become very dangerous if they're not careful.
And
so he is approaching now. This is the south, well, there's the Beltway again, the South Beltway.
Back underneath the belt,
back
on the
underneath
southbound
the
side of Post Oak.
All right, let's see what he does here.
At this intersection.
He's probably going to go left or make another U-turn.
Nope, came back up.
Yeah, there he is.
Okay.
All right, now this is the 4th time he's done this. Now he's going into the same gas station, and let's see what he does here. This is the gas station that he went into earlier.
And he's stopping here.
Okay, now he's stopped.
And
now police are out. Now he's boxed in, and now he's crawling to the ground and hands on the ground. Spread eagle, and guns drawn, of course, as a precaution, and that's the protocol for this type of situation. But he is clearly on the ground, making himself seen by everyone that he is clearly giving up. But the guns are drawn, and all the police officers' vehicles around there. Now he's getting back up with the, he's probably ordered to get back up on his knees with his hands behind his head.
Police dog there. So the end of this relatively slow speed chase that lasted a little over 20 minutes started at South Braeswood and ended here at this gas station. Not sure the name of this street here, but it is along.
That's Post Oak.
Post Oak.
That's Post Oak, and the Beltway is where we at, and the feeder. This would be the north feeder, south Beltway.
See him backing up there as police, I suppose, they're giving him orders there, and now being taken into custody.
So fortunately, it ended, without incident, ending safely here. As he maneuvered his way through this gas station, he was boxed in because we don't know whether he was going to try and continue, but there was an officer's vehicle that sort of boxed him in, and that's why he stopped. Being handcuffed now and he'd be put into the back of the vehicle, police squad car.
As they search the vehicle, you see the guns drawn as they're about to search the trunk here.
And all we know is that there was one driver. We don't know why he was running. And we will have much more in our afternoon shows. We'll try and figure out why this guy was even on the run. It's been going on for some 30 minutes, but it has now safely come to an end with the man in custody. And we will have much more on Eyewitness News at 4, 5, and 6. And we will be back right after this.
It's a great way to start the day.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tom Cook.
Oh, he's got a flat tire. That's why he's not going fast. He's got a flat tire. Yeah, both tires are blown out on this side, on the driver's side. He's stopping. He's stopping. Windshield wipers are still on. Oh! And there he goes backwards. Going backwards. Absolutely, he's been erratic. He actually stopped on this street that we're on right now and then tried to put it in reverse and then started going forward. I could also tell you that the two wheels on the driver's side are completely shredded as well. You can see that he's on the back rim. We did see him throw something out of his car when we first joined the chase. I'm not too sure what it was, but it did wind up in a parking lot just a few miles back. So, you know, since we've been on here, it's kind of been eventful.
Okay, so you've seen him throw something out. I guess police will be trying to find that at some point. Now, you were telling me we can definitely see from this vantage point that front passenger's tire is blown out, but you're saying a second tire is also blown out as we watch the hazard lights go here.
Yeah, the entire driver's side front tire and the back tire is completely gone. I did see the rim when we were just a little bit on the north side of it. On the back side, you can see the front side also flopping in the wind as well, so that tire's about to go. And yeah, his hazard's on, so he's being awfully cautious about that. Yeah,
so we've got 3 tires blown out here, Andy. Is this because police have put out spike strips at some point earlier in the chase?
If they did, we did not see that, Eric. I can't tell you if they did spike the rims or they're just wear and tear from him driving erratically.
Okay.
There goes something. Maybe that was just a piece of tire that came off, not necessarily being thrown out of the vehicle.
Okay, yeah, this is some side here with this vehicle traveling on essentially one decent tire at this point. Andy, can you kind of give us a sense of where we are at this point in the city?
I'm trying to get the pilot to get us on the GPS, but he's just now stopping wherever we are. Let me pull back the camera a little bit. Maybe I could get a better area of where we're at.
Okay, I can definitely see those railroad tracks. I'm getting some reports here from producers inside our newsroom that we're in Houston's East End at this point. And Andy, we're definitely seeing some vehicles look like they are trying to get out of his way. Is there a pretty large contingent of police cars following him at this point that can see this coming?
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 and probably even more. I'm not going to lose them totally, but I'll pull back just a little bit. When we joined on there, we saw at least 5, and there's probably more. We did see the HPD helicopter also starting up when we took off as well, so they're probably going to join. But it's a very slow-moving chase because he only is on one good tire, so he's not going to be able to go very fast in the southeast side of Houston.
Okay, now I know this is all breaking news here. Again, a chase that started out in southeast Houston, folks. We're now learning it's now moved into east of downtown. Andy, I know everything's sketchy at this point, but are you aware of anything that might have prompted this chase?
We do not know. The news desk, I know, is frantically working on that to see what it was. I did hear you report this is a possible stolen car. So maybe just they ran a license plate, or he was driving erratically, and maybe someone called 911. We're not too sure, but the news desk is trying to get that information to us now.
Okay, we're working to confirm that. It's an initial report that we've got into our newsroom as well. This is a stolen vehicle. Andy, it's also odd to see that one police cruiser there. Well, he's stopping. He stopped the vehicle. There's at least half a dozen police cars behind him at this point. But, Andy, it looks like he's going to take off again as one police car there is on the wrong side of the road. To say he's driving erratic is pretty much an understatement at this point.
Yeah, and you could see the large police presence behind him, not going very far. Yeah, the other guy was on the westbound side when he was traveling eastbound, still trying to get a crossroad exactly where we're at right now. But he's now southbound on this road.
Okay, Andy, as we kind of watch all the different turns he's taking here, we're also being told that in this area there is an elementary school nearby.
There is, actually. I believe I see it out the right window if I'm looking correctly. And we are on southbound side of Wayside, by the way. And I believe maybe that was an apartment complex. Let me pull back to see
All right, he's on the wrong side of the road right now, just past a school bus. He's definitely picking up some speed here as he's kind of having to navigate some traffic here as well. But it looks like there's a couple of, well, it looks like that was a taxi cab. But it's amazing, with 3 tires blown out, he's on the wrong side of the road, continues to stop again and takes off. And folks, for those of you that are just joining us now, this chase started in southeast Houston near Memorial, and is now, reports are that it's a stolen vehicle. And he's at this point now we're watching him essentially make a lot of turns, and he's actually going in circles, and he's near a school here in the East End as we saw him pass one school bus. We're being told now he's in the neighborhood of Polk and Lawndale, again picking up speed on 3 bare rims and only 1 good tire at this point. So he just continues to move along here, Andy.
Yeah, it is, and we're just kind of losing him. Actually, we're just trying to get the chopper around because he went right underneath us. So we're trying to get just a better location for you exactly where he is. But there is an elementary school around here, and now that officer just got into the front side of him. So hopefully they're going to try to slow him down in this area by using that front.
Yeah, you're right, Andy. He's definitely trying to stay in front of this SUV as he continues to move with his hazard lights on. They've kind of are trying to box him in, it appears, at this point. And it only looks like he's, from our vantage point here, he's maybe doing, 30, 40 miles an hour, if even?
Yeah, if that. It's hard to go fast on 3 bad tires and a couple of rims. And we're just passing, I believe that was Sylvan Road. I'm still not too sure what major road we are on, because he's taking so many turns, it's hard for us to keep up here. But this might be coming to an end. It looks like he's stopped.
We're being told he's in the neighborhood of Lockwood and Sylvan. He just rear-ended that police car right there. Officers are now out, one on the hood, as we can see. They're going to go ahead and try to yank him out of this SUV. Again, folks, reports that this is a stolen SUV here on Houston's East End. 3 tires already blown out. I'm counting at least 6 to 8 police officers trying to kick out a window. He won't roll that window down for them. One's trying to break out the passenger window with a nightstick, and one's crawling through physically right now through the driver's side. Looks like they're going to pull him out of that passenger side window now. They're having to tackle him, get him on the ground at this point. He was not going to go peacefully. So it looks like we've got the suspect here on the ground. Appears to be a white male, and we've also got a canine there on scene. And Andy, it looks like they're definitely handcuffing him at this point.
I try to go through the passenger passenger door, and then get pulled out through the. I've never quite seen anything quite like that, trying to get in through that driver's window and then try to bring.
Yeah, that was a very, very dramatic ending. Police officers were very aggressive once they got that car backed in. He kind of started the whole thing by rear-ending that one officer's vehicle. Again, folks, for those of you just tuning in, we've been following a police chase here in southeast Houston that has now come to a very dramatic end. Reports of a stolen vehicle, this black SUV that you're now watching, making several turns throughout Houston's East End, even getting near an elementary school and also passing a bus on the wrong side of the road. It eventually comes to an end right here when he rear-ends an officer that HPD cruiser that was coming to a slow in front of him. At that point, other officers descended on him, even jumped through the half-rolled window. Andy, I'm going to have to ask you, the suspect there, are you able to make out this is a male or a female suspect?
I believe it's a male. I did pull back a little bit. I don't know if he was fully dressed, and I didn't want to show anything on TV right now, so it was very hard for me to tell on the close shot that I just did. So I believe it was a male. I'm 100% I can get a closer shot.
Yeah. No, I understand that we do want to be cautious in situations like this where we're on live TV, especially covering a breaking news event that came to a pretty aggressive ending, but officers had no choice. He was driving extremely erratically and essentially rear-ended that patrol car that looks to be Z27 right there, and that's when officers had enough at that point. Again, folks, we saw an officer essentially jump through the driver's side window, and they eventually just barreled him out the passenger's window as they handcuffed him here, and he remains on the road top here, again in Houston's East End. Andy, we see some spectators kind of stopping to see what's going on. At this point, are you able to figure out exactly what road we're on and any cross streets it might be nearby?
Yeah, we are on actually Wayside, just a little bit east or north of 45, I should say. So we are on a major road here on Wayside, just on the north side of 45.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get our bearings. We're facing north, so it's hard to tell me what's behind me right now.
No, I understand this is all a fluid situation, Andy. I did want to ask you something. Everything happened so quickly there at the ending, Andy, and we saw that one officer go through that driver's side window. Another officer was trying to go through the passenger's window. It looked like at some point there was some sort of pole, whether it was a golf club or something, that an officer pulled out and was trying to break that window out of. Could you tell what the officer was using when he was trying to shatter that window and get access to that suspect?
There were several things that were actually thrown out.
There it is right there. You see it by the wheel, Andy? It looks like a golf club.
It's exactly what it is. It looks like a 9-iron, actually. No, I'm not too sure what it is, but yeah, it was definitely a golf club, and there was also some other apparatus down here that they threw out as well. I'm not too sure exactly what that was, but they were also using the handle of a gun to try to get into the car on the side. I saw them using their barrels of the guns to get on that side. So
Okay.
I don't know if the actual suspect had those golf clubs in there and they were just throwing them out when they saw him, or he was trying to use them as a defense weapon. I'm not too sure.
Okay, pretty amazing here. This suspect remains on the ground, handcuffed, and several officers still on scene as they're taking up, one entire side of the roadway here. And Andy, again, you're kind of telling us that are we near 45 at this point?
Yeah, we're about a mile just north of 45. So it's directly right behind me. So it's Wayside basically at 45. I'm going to try to give you a broader picture of it, so maybe I could get that into the screen. About a quarter mile, I'd say, not even a mile.
Okay, I was definitely going to ask you as well, Andy, as you're already one step ahead of me, to pull out here and kind of just see it. This is obviously going to affect traffic in the area as, we're not quite near rush hour, but schools have let out in the area, as you did pass a school and a school bus here just minutes ago when the chase came to an end. So we know this is going to cause somewhat of a traffic tie-up in this area for people that might have to commute through here.
Absolutely, it's going to cause a major backup, especially on Wayside being one of the major arteries off of 45 on the east end of the city. So, as long as this is going to stay here, it's going to impact traffic, and a lot of kids are getting out of school, as you just said, Eric. So, a lot of people that are just standing by, watching by, just to see what happens here is going to cause some kind of problem down there.
Okay, well, I know we kind of picked up this chase after it had already began, Andy, but from what you were able to see when you got on the chase, and then when we took it to air, as we watch officers kind of go through this vehicle, again, folks, that we think is a possibly stolen SUV, we didn't see him hit any other vehicles, and especially no one else, Andy, right? Only that one police cruiser he rear-ended.
That is correct, Eric. That Z27 is the only one that was impacted, as far as we know, since we joined the chase on Polk Street, just a little bit east of downtown, over by the Toyota Center, is where we joined the chase. And he was slow moving at that time. We caught up to him pretty quick because those three tires were completely blown out.
Yeah, and bear with me 1 second, Andy. Folks, this is the end of the chase that we showed you just seconds ago live here on ABC 13. Now, look, you'll see an officer try to kick that window in as the other officer tries to go in through the driver's side door. Eventually have to shatter that window. What we think is a golf club or something else. That's when they pull that second door open and essentially just shove him through the entire front interior and out the passenger's door. And folks, that's a suspect they were following for a few miles there on Houston's East End. He's now since been handcuffed and remained there on the road top. Andy, another thing we've been looking at here in the newsroom is it appears that that is somewhat of a crutch near that front tire that someone who has that might be disabled uses around their wrist. It looks like there's so many questions
exactly
here.
What we were thinking. Exactly what we were thinking about. It almost looked like a brace, for someone who might have some hip problems or something along those lines. So maybe that was the owner of the vehicle's car.
All right. Andy, we appreciate the live pictures. Great job in Sky HD, folks. Possible stolen vehicle chase coming here to an end. We'll bring you more on Eyewitness News starting at 4 p.m. Now back to programming.
No, they're just down around his aim. They're just down real close, real far. That's all. I don't know whether they're there or not. Yeah, sure. 10-4, got you covered.